Welcome to Mexico, a country that has ancient ruins and modern cities, richness and poverty. But the reason I've come here is to understand how some local tourism operators are turning their attention to helping rebuild communities and restoring the local culture. And in turn, they're teaching these communities just how important it is for conservation of their natural environments. My name's Lynn Sutherland. I'm an explorer and an environmentalist. I've spent a year visiting some of the world's most exotic destinations in a bid to learn more about the threats that face them. I think there's only one way to understand the state of our planet, and that's to seek out some of the most fragile ecosystems and explore the impacts that we, as travellers, have on them. "15 minutes from the town of Campeche is the Hacienda Guayamon. Now, this is one of the most luxurious places you can stay anywhere in the world. But beneath all that are so many layers of history. What used to once support a whole community through industry has once again been restored to support the local Mayan community. But this time, both you and I can enjoy this magnificent place." My trip to Mexico would take me through the Yucatan Peninsula in the southeast of Mexico to learn about a destination that is implementing sustainable tourism practices. I would stay in local estates known as haciendas, some which date back to the 1500s. These haciendas were owned by wealthy Spanish plantation families that utilised and supported the local Mayan workers. For centuries, many of these haciendas lay in ruins, but today some have been restored by passionate owners and now offer luxurious accommodation. To start my journey, I had the chance to understand and appreciate the environment, history and culture that has shaped this destination into what it is today. I am in the biosphere of Calakmul, which is in the state of Campeche. Now, this is the largest biosphere in Mexico. A biosphere is our version of a national park, set up to protect the species of Mexico, like jaguar and many of the monkey species, like the spider monkey. But here in the state of Campeche, they have protected over 40% of their state. This 1.8 million acre reserve hides 86 species of mammals, 385 species of birds, and 1,500 species of plant life. It is one of the largest remaining tracts of forest in the Mayan region. Oh, this is so cool. We've only just got here and we're walking along this track, and only about 50 metres into it we've come across a family of howler monkeys. Now, there's one just up in the tree here, but there's also a mother and a baby, and there's another one up there. This park's alive. It just shows as soon as you protect an area, that wildlife just automatically is all around you. There he is, just up there. Now, what's this tree we've got here? Because there's a lot of cuts in it.
This tree is a Chico Zapote tree. It's like sapodilla tree. And this was very important during the early 20th century because this is where chewing gum was extracted.
So these cuts here was to get the sap out and then you chew on it?
No. They would need to cook it. I would need to cook it and make some sort of tablets. And those were the ones that were exported. So, yeah, they would put like a leather bag here and then collect it, then cook it, process it, and take it to the United States, especially to flavor it.
We got spider monkeys just up in the tree. It almost sounded like two trees rubbing together, but it's a spider monkey. This is so cool. Everywhere you go, there's animals around here. That's a tree. So it's a pretty important place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Calakmul is like a lung for the whole area. If we put together all the rest of the biosphere reserves, it would be like the second lung for America after the Amazon.
Wow, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
The Mayan culture seems so ancient and it goes back so far, but when does it actually start?
Well, the Mayans start as a settlement around 1500 before Christ, but as a civilization, as city builders with these massive pyramids, they apparently start around 600 or 500 before Christ. Around 500 AD, some of the cities in the northern part of the Yucatan started emerging, cities like Chichen Itza, cities like Uxmal, and they continued growing. The cities in the south, cities like Calakmul, like Tikal, Palenque, those other cities by around 900, 1000 AD, they were totally abandoned.
So the Mayan people didn't just disappear, like some people believe. The people went on, they just moved out of these cities. But you've got some of these remains still here. So what are some of the best archaeological sites that you have here?
Okay, well, in the state of Campeche, we have Calakmul. Calakmul is one of the greatest Mayan cities. We have counted over 6,000 structures just in this site. It's around 60 square kilometer city. It was a super-sized city. So we can tell that these two mega-sized kingdoms were like torches on the map of the Mayan world. So in a certain time, their light was spread all over the region. But around 700 AD, the batteries started going down, so their light started fading away. So that gave the opportunity to all the other emerging kingdoms to start making their things on their own.
The reason I choose to travel and stay in EarthCheck certified properties is because EarthCheck guides them in how to continually improve their environmental and social performance by providing an international standard to follow. While as a visitor, I simply enjoy my stay. These restored haciendas are a perfect example and now attract the rich, the famous, and even global leaders. Haciendas usually had their own church, hospital, store, and workers' cottages, and many even minted their own currency. These grounds are a museum of Mexican history. I jumped on a bike to journey through this incredible location. Staying in the haciendas offers a glimpse back in time to the golden days, when it was a sisal factory. Sisal was one of the most valuable commodities in the world. The flax-like fibre was used to make ships' ropes before being replaced by synthetic fibres, causing the collapse of this industry. But fortunately, the tradition lives on in local products like my hammock. In the middle of the ground stands a sabre tree, known as the Tree of Life. Regarded as sacred by the Mayan people, its branches reach to the heavens, while its roots remain fixed in the earth. And in this manner, it provides them with a connection to the spirit world.
So Carolina, when I look around, this place is so romantic, and you seem to have layer upon layer of history here. But what's the story behind this hacienda?
Well, this hacienda is called Guayamon and means where we go. This hacienda was in the 16th century a cattle ranch. And then in the 19th century, it started like a sisal producer. Here in Mexico, the haciendas were like small towns. So where you have the house of the owner, a church, a store, and also the workers and everyone lived here. And the workers were Mayan people. Then, for some reason, it was attacked by pirates and got abandoned, like 80 years. And in 1994, is by a Mexican family who has a vision, a long-term vision of sustainability. And the first step of sustainability was to preserve and restore this hacienda with local materials and also the local population of the community.
The couple were Marilu Hernandez and her husband, master architect Louis Krexel, who have formed what is now known as the Grupo Plan Foundation. They work closely with Mayan community leaders with significant economic benefits of sustainable tourism returning back to the village. Leaving Guayamon, we travelled to another of their haciendas at Santa Rosa. This one is renowned for the success of its community-owned workshops. Here, we can see the magnificent restoration work that's been undertaken and see how ancient ruins have been brought back to life. Some buildings have been left in their original state, so we can appreciate the before and after.
The secret of the hacienda's success is the way